The 2024 Nissan LEAF is a carryover from last year's model, but last year was quite a bit of a refresh. Now, this is the type of vehicle that's misunderstood by a lot of people, including me. This is a full electric vehicle, and it gives you a range of about 220 miles. This is the SV Plus, so that gives you the upgraded battery. So it's 220 miles, and it's fairly accurate as far as, you know, driving normally. Very impressed with the ride quality and everything. It does have significant torque steer when you really press the accelerator and really punch it. Other than that, it drives like a normal vehicle. It's just a little bit more peppy and smooth and comfortable. So this one has the gloss black wheels with a whole bunch of spokes. I'll let you count them if you want. The headlights are LED, but the fog lights are standard bulbs down here, so they kind of stand out a little bit. This emblem right here is illuminated, which looks really cool at nighttime. And basically how you interact with this vehicle is that you charge it each night. You don't have to go to the gas station, it's an electric vehicle. So you just charge it each night, and then you're good for 220 some miles. Now, if you don't have the ability to charge it at home, I don't recommend this vehicle because it does not charge very fast on a fast charger, and also it uses the CHAdeMO charge plug, which is not very common. You can use the key to release the little door right here for charging. You lift it up, and it has the regular 1772 connection, which is common. All vehicles have this except for Tesla. And then you have the CHAdeMO, which is for fast charging only. So this is the one that's more rare, and it's slow charging for a fast charger. So this is really good. You charge it overnight, you have a full charge, and it's the charge location is fairly convenient. It's right there in the front center, so you just pull straight up to the charge connector, and then you can plug it in. You close that, and then you can have this vehicle charging in the rain. It's not a problem. And then when you're finished, you just close this door. The front of the vehicle has lots of room getting in and out, and as far as just roominess here, it's fine. The swing of the door is nice too, so getting in and out of the front it's plenty of room, really. The back is a little bit different. You have a seat that's a little bit higher off the floor, and then you have the swing of the door is okay, but you can see the area here for getting in and out, and then the actual leg room. Depending on how forward you have these seats, it could be a little bit of an issue. You can see that driver's seat is all the way back, so you can see the potential limitations there. It does have a hump in the center, and these seats do fold down to add to your cargo space as well. Now this one has the chrome handles. This is pretty cool. It also has the black roof, white color, and then the little shark fin antenna there. Spoiler with that little third brake light there in the center, and a rear wiper. And the back badge does not illuminate, unlike the front. You can see it has standard bulbs on the turn signal. I have a brief night video on this vehicle as well. It's a little frustrating at night. Some of the things are not all that great. Now, it has parking sensors back here. It also has the full 360 camera system, which is really handy. Backup camera is a little bit offset. So lifting this up, the cargo area is nice. It is really nice for grocery getter or luggage or whatever. So I have my stuff in here, and so you can see there's quite a bit of room. Now this is the charge bag. Now you don't have to carry this around with you. It's kind of heavy, so I would just basically take it out. It does have a 220 and 110 charge cable that comes with the vehicle, which is fantastic. It charges at about 28 amps. So it's a little bit less than, say, a 32 amp system, but it charges fine overnight, no problem. Completely charged the vehicle in about 7 hours or something like that, 7-8 hours. So yeah, really enjoyable as far as going and getting groceries and putting stuff back here. And these seats fold down as well. When the seats fold down, there's quite a bit of a difference between the cargo area and the seats themselves. So while you can add to your cargo space, it's just not it's not like you're going to lay a big box flat back here. Just kind of like you can lean it on those seats or whatever. But it does give you the ability to add to your cargo space while still maintaining passenger space, because it is a 60-40 split. The rear passengers do have USB charge ports back here, so that's nice. 2 USB regular Type A charge ports. There's no cargo area under the trunk. It's just basically looks like an engine really, but it's all electric. It does have a regular battery, which is easy to get to, unlike some electric vehicles, that little 12-volt battery. But yeah, there's no cargo area, so you can check the washer fluid and coolant and stuff like that, but as far as, like, you know, a front trunk, you're not going to have it. The inside of the doors, it does have some soft touch surfaces, like it is like a vinyl rubber type material. This is a cloth, but the rest of the door is a hard touch. There's the power windows, door locks, side mirror adjustments there. It does have the blind spot detection system on this trim. Power seat on the driver's side only. It does have a two-way lumbar adjustment, and the seats are good. They're pretty comfortable. Basically, it has a comfortable ride, actually. I do have the climate control on, but it is very quiet other than that. The climate control makes a little bit of noise, fan noise, stuff like that, but extremely quiet. Now it has the release for the charge port button over here, heated steering wheel as well. And it does have some useful buttons here: the adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, voice recognition, the phone button as well. Then you have the volume, change to the tracks, and then these buttons kind of change the screen here to give you different views. Now, sometimes when you get in the vehicle, unless you put your seatbelt on, it will not show the range. That's a little bit frustrating, because sometimes you just want to see what the range is. You're not actually planning on the driving. You just want to see about what you have for the, you know, future trip or something, and you have to get in and put your seatbelt on and all that stuff just to get the seatbelt warning to go away, so it'll reveal the miles. So right now we're at 85% on the battery, and it's showing 194 miles. So that's a lot of miles. So this morning it showed over 220, so that's good. So I've driven it down to about 30% and then charged it up, and it took about 7 hours to charge overnight, and so it wasn't a big deal. I was ready to go the next day. It's kind of like, electric cars is interesting because people keep talking about range anxiety and stuff, but really you're starting off with a full tank every single day. How often do you go to the gas station every single day and that night and then be ready with a full tank every morning? You'd have to be doing a lot of driving, and you know, to do that, and very few people go to the gas station more than once a day. So considering that, most people would have no problem with the range of 220 miles. Now it does have the heated seats. It's like 100 degrees outside today, so I'm not going to use them. But it has pretty standard climate control, fan speed. It does have automatic climate control as well. And then you do have an eco mode, which limits your climate control. It also limits your acceleration and stuff, so I don't really use that. And it has a shifter just a little bit different, so you pull it over and back for go and drive. So now we're going forward, over and forward to go in reverse. And the backup camera with the 360 view is great. You can see all around the vehicle, and you can see it's just really handy for parking, and it's a good, pretty decent size. The brightness and clarity is a little bit lacking, but other than that, it's fine. And then to put it in park, you push here. Now it does have the ability, if you're going down a hill, you need engine braking, you move it over, and when you're in drive, like so, you move it over and down again to go to initiate that engine braking. Now the default would be a normal, you know, when you let go, the accelerator deaccelerates normally like a gas engine, which you'd expect, but it has the ability to increase that. It also has e-pedal, which is a button over here, and when you turn that on, basically you don't have to push the brake at all. When you remove your foot from the accelerator, it will come to a complete stop. So you basically use the gas pedal or the accelerator pedal to accelerate, but also as you ease off of it, it slows you down. So it's just basically like a one pedal type drive. It's not something I care for. It's more for like city driving. You definitely don't want to have that like on the highway or anything. It does have 12-volt power supply, USB-C, USB-A over here, a little storage cubby. It does have a place to put your cell phone right here, but my phone doesn't fit in there. It's kind of too big. I mean, it'll go in there, but it just doesn't fit like you know, like it doesn't fit down flat. So if that was like a wireless charger or something, it just wouldn't really work. And okay, so electronic parking brake, cup holders, armrest is kind of small. little storage area. No light in the glove compartment, no light in the center console. You'll see that in the night video. There's also a place to put your shades, which is so small, can't use Hollywood shades. Maybe a little tiny reading glasses will fit in there. Acceleration is really good. It's really fun to drive, really. But the only issue with when you really hit the accelerator, when you really punch it, it has a significant amount of torque steer. So you do have to hold the steering wheel, and even then you're going to wander all over the place. Yeah, see, it just wants to wander left or right with that acceleration. And that's only if you really punch it. Just normal driving, it's not an issue at all. And the adaptive cruise control works great. And actually, I haven't had too much trouble with the automatic high beams at night either. So that's a plus. The ride quality is a lot better than I thought for a relatively small vehicle. I guess it's because of the weight. You know, it has a significant amount of weight because of the battery and all that. That it just seems like it's just a nice ride. And relatively quiet too. Really impressed with those two things. I thought it was going to be kind of loud and kind of rough riding and all that stuff, but it's been surprisingly good. And when the vehicle sees the lines on the road, the lane keep assist system works really good. It doesn't fight with you, and it holds the lane nicely. So yeah, I was pretty impressed with that as well. I get a little more torque steer there. Okay, so now it just saw the lines on the road. So see how it kind of follows the lines. You're supposed to keep your hands on the steering wheel, but I'm just kind of showing you how well it works. It'll give you a warning if you don't hold the steering wheel. But yeah, and it's in a nice spot where, like I said, it doesn't fight you. You know, some vehicles, it's like it wants to have you in a very specific spot in the road, and you're constantly fighting with it. So this one, you don't really have that issue. You have a little meter here showing you how much power you're using. So it has a bar for when you're accelerating, it'll go up, and then when you are slowing down, it uses the brakes, but also it has a blended braking where it actually regenerates. Regenerative braking regenerates electricity to charge the battery slightly. And zipping around town through traffic, because it has that really punchy acceleration, it's really fun. And just driving on the highway, it's fine too, because of that ride quality and noise level. And has a really good sound system. If I play music, it'll trigger copyright infringement and all that stuff, but it sounds really good. Really fun to just kind of blast some music and kind of cruise around and go on errands and do whatever. And it looks pretty cool at night with that illuminated badge in the front. There is some visibility issues. So these pillars here in the front are really wide. Even though it has that little window, it is still an issue. The front pillars are an issue. The back pillars are a little bit of an issue. And now it does have the blind spot detection system, rear cross traffic alert, parking sensors, 360 camera, all that. But still, having these front pillars sometimes, and also the front of the vehicle is kind of like up. So, you know, you just want to be careful, because you can hide a dump truck behind these front pillars. So the main thing is that you come to a complete stop at stop signs. Really, that's the main thing. Because if you're moving and the other vehicle's moving, it could easily hide behind that pillar. Okay, so we're going about 66, 67 miles per hour, and it's fine. I mean, I drove this to quite a bit on the highway, and it's been really good, really enjoyable to drive on the highway and on the just regular back roads, and a little bit of city here and there, but mostly highway. And this car really is great in the city, as long as you have a place to charge it. That's the main, really, the main decider in my mind is whether you have a place to charge at home with an electric car. If you don't have that, then probably a good idea to not get a full electric car until you have the ability to charge at home.